Hey everyone, welcome to the tutorial for how to use Sublime Text sftp plugin to do remote development for EX281. Couple of things first, this tutorial is going to be done in Windows, so if you're using a Mac, some things will be a little different. For instance, you do not have a control key, instead you have a command key, but it should be fairly similar. Next thing is that I'm going to be going through this tutorial pretty quickly. You're going to want to be pausing the video a lot to catch up to what I'm doing in the video. Quick overview of what the steps that's going to be happening. Step 1 is I'm going to install Sublime. Step 2 is I'm going to install Sublime Package Control, which is just like a plugin to install more plugins. Step 3 is we're going to use Sublime Package Control to install the sftp plugin. And finally, we're going to use sftp to sync folders between your local machine and the Kane servers. So first things first, installing Sublime. Go Google Sublime Text. The first link you should find is sublimetext.com. There's a nice page giving an overview of the features of Sublime, but we're not going to go over. I encourage you to go learn more about Sublime's features for yourself, but this is just to get you started on how to use sftp for remote development. Click on download on the top. Find, pretty much install it. Depending on which operating system you have or what architecture you have, you'll have to click on different links. It'll look a little different. I'm going to skip that step in the video. Just come back to the video when you're done. There's two versions of Sublime you can install. There's Sublime Text 2 and 3. They both work, so it doesn't matter which one you do. I have Sublime Text 3, but again, it doesn't really matter. Go back to Sublime. It should look like this. A couple differences: you might not have the split view that I have. You won't have this folder menus on the left, which is fine. I'm actually going to remove this folder so I can add it back in. But you have Sublime installed right here. Next thing to do is to install Sublime Package Control. So Google Sublime Package Control, Sublime Package Control. First link, again, click on the green install button on the top right side of the web page, and then you'll get to this nice page here. You want to, so depending on which version of Sublime Text you have, 3 or 2, you want to pretty much copy and paste the code snippet provided here. So if I have 3, so I'm going to copy and paste this. And you're going to copy paste the code, and then go back to Sublime, open up View, Show Console. Here you'll have, and it'll open up on the bottom. You see here the console for the Python console for Sublime. Copy and paste the code in there, and press Enter. And it's a bunch of code that will essentially install package control for you. You should get a success message here. I actually got an error message. This is because I already have package control installed. But hopefully, assuming you pick the right version of Sublime, it should say success here. It might ask you to restart Sublime, but once you have that installed, you can go Control-Shift-P on Windows and open up the package menu for Sublime. Type in install package. If you have package control installed, this option will show up. If it doesn't, then it didn't install correctly. So go back and make sure this is working. And press Enter. You open up a new menu. Now it'll give you a bunch of plugins or packages it can install for you. The one we want to install is called sftp, which stands for Secure File Transfer Protocol. For me, it's actually not here. The one that we want to be using, the one we want to be using is by W Bond. But the reason why it doesn't appear for me is because I've already installed it, so it won't let me reinstall it twice. But for you guys, for the first time installing it, it should show up as the first one. Go ahead and click that and install that. And then again, it should give you a success message and maybe ask you to restart Sublime again. Assuming that everything has gone well, and so first things first, you want to make I'll show you how to check to see if Sublime sftp has been installed correctly. So first things first, go make a folder on your computer that you want to hold all of your EX281 stuff. And then once you've made that folder, go to Project and say Add Folder to Project and navigate to that folder. For me, that's the EX281 folder that I use for discussions. Select Folder, and this folder will now appear on the left side of your Sublime screen. I'm not sure how to describe this, but once you have this folder, before you do anything else, you actually want to go ahead and tunnel in. You want to go make a folder, a matching folder basically, on the Kane server that will be connected to the folder on your desktop or your laptop. So in this case, if you go if you go to if you log in, if you use PuTTY or you SSH in, you first SSH to the Kane servers, you'll get to, you can do pwd, which is the print working directory, and you'll find that this is my current directory. This should be the home screen that you have when you first log in through a shell, and you want to make a new directory, make a new folder for this. So I'll call this called demo. Okay, demo folder. Oh, I already have one called demo. I'll make demo 2. So I made a folder called demo 2. I'm gonna go into demo 2 and do pwd. And this is the folder, the path to the folder that I want this folder to be mapping to. So once I have the folder in my desktop, I'm in Sublime, and also another folder that I want it to match in on the Kane servers, what I can do on the left, I can right-click the folder, and then if I've installed sftp correctly, you have this option over here saying sftp map to remote. Click on that and open up. It'll create this file in the folder, and it's called sftp-config.json. And you want to modify this file so that you can set it up so it's connecting to your remote server. So first things first, you want to change the host over here to login-course.engine.umich.edu. This is the same thing that you would use if you were trying to SSH under the Kane servers. For username, you want to use your unique name. For me, that's LAIAN. And finally, go back to the shell. You can see the directory that I want to work with is right here. So I'm going to copy and paste that. Essentially, so it's under remote path, you want to do afs/user/LALIAN and then demo 2. Oh, sorry, umich.edu. So now that you see that this string right here matches the directory that I'm currently in PuTTY. For me, that's my secure shell program. And last thing you want to do is change upload on save to be true. So once you have all this set up, save it, and now your file should be, now this folder should be by the way, you can close the console if it's open by pressing escape. But now that this, now that all this is set up, what should happen now is you should right-click. If you right-click any file inside of this folder, sftp, you can do this. Instead of saying map to remote, it should have a bunch of options here, and say I want to sync local to remote. Essentially, it says everything that happens, I want the version of the folder that exists in my local computer to equal the remote version, in this case, the Kane server. So I went ahead and did that. It'll give you saying, do you want to do this? I say yes. It might prompt you for your password, but once it logs in once, it creates a session, it won't have to do that again. And now if I go back to this folder, you'll see that D1 now exists in this folder, and it didn't before. And you see that inside of D1, there's all these files which I made, which are the same, which are a copy of the files that I have in on my local machine. So I can vim into demo.cpp. You'll see that it's the same. Let's say I want to, because I go back to this file, the sftp config JSON. You can see that I had upload on save to be true, which means that whenever I save this file, it'll upload it. So I'm going to say this is a test comment. I'm going to save the folder, save the file, sorry. And what just happened on the very bottom, you'll see there's a short message saying that it was syncing the file here to the one remotely uploading it. So I can go vim into demo.cpp. You can see here that this comment right here wasn't here earlier. I just added it. And essentially what happens is the change that I made was synced into the version of demo.cpp that's on the Kane servers. Now this way I can basically develop locally on Sublime and use Sublime text, which is very nice, and then save it. Whenever I save it, it'll upload the folder, a copy of this file to the Kane servers, which you can now compile and test on Kane like this. So you see I'm writing a file here and I'm syncing it up to the remote server. And so that's pretty much it. I find remote development to be much easier than having to, get a computer from the libraries. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. Thanks for watching.